Welcome to another In Wheel Time podcast, a 30-minute mini version of the In Wheel Time car show that airs live every Saturday morning, 8 to 11 a.m. Central. From the Sugar Shack Studios in Texas, USA, it's the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Coming up, talk with a fellow about his million-mile Suburban. Yep, without an engine overhaul.
Wow.
I got to drive the updated Buick Encore GX. I'll give you my thoughts on it. Conrad has the cruise-in calendar and This Week in Auto History. And later, we'll bring you the stories making automotive news headlines this week. Just ahead on the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Howdy, along with Mike Out of This World Mars, King Conrad DeLong. We always need more Jeff Zekin. I'm Don Armstrong. Glad you could join us on this Saturday. We've had some interesting conversations here in the studio prior to air, and I guess we really shouldn't go into all of that, should we,
Please,
Mr.
no.
Mars?
No.
Well, we could, but it wouldn't be. We wouldn't be on the air very long.
Afraid not.
No, you three wouldn't be on the air very long. It would be my show.
Well, Xfinity would come up with their emergency truck to cut the cable. That's the way that would work.
Well, between 9 and 7. Between 9 a.m. and 7 p.m., they would be out to cut the cable.
Yeah, yeah. And then they call it at about 7 p.m. and go,
Can we reschedule?
Yeah, we're not going to be able to make it today. But at any rate. So,
Cable guy.
Ben Welch drove his new Chevy Suburban off the dealership lot in 1994. I don't know as if I'd tell everybody that. He was curious to see how many miles it would go by following a good maintenance routine. Per General Motors, only about 1% of Suburbans go over 250,000 miles.
Wow.
So it was remarkable when Welch watched his odometer flip to 1 million miles earlier this year. Does it go that far?
Yep. Well, it doesn't go to a million. It goes to all zeros again because everything's had a million-mile odometer on it, probably since the late 70s.
Okay. Well, all that without a complete engine overhaul or the engine pulled from the vehicle for service. And joining us now is Ben Welch. Ben, good morning to you.
Good morning, Mike.
Well,
Good to talk to you.
I'm Don. Mike's over there in the green shirt, and we've got also Conrad DeLong here and Jeff Zekin, so you're going to get bombarded by questions.
Sue's just walked in.
Okay.
Let me just say that it is remarkable, but clearly you were very conscientious about engine oil changes and the maintenance schedule. Did you follow it by the book, or did you use your own?
You want me to tell you the truth, Don?
Yes.
Here's the deal. First of all, when I bought the vehicle, my intent wasn't to keep it forever. In fact, I was going to trade every year. And I went down after the first year, had about $35,000, could have traded for about $5,000, which I thought was reasonable. But I got to looking at the 95s, and between 94 and 95, General Motors discontinued that outside armrest on the front seats. And I really liked that. So I thought, they'll probably bring those back next year.
Nope.
So I came back in 96. Nope. Came back 3 times. They didn't bring it back. So I thought, I'll just run it a couple of years. So that's the real story on the Suburban.
So it all centers around the armrest, really.
Actually, it does.
Comfort.
Yeah, comfort. Well, absolutely. Let me ask you this. On a million-mile vehicle, have you had to have the seat repaired or pumped up or put some new foam under it or something?
We were just talking about that as we were waiting. The interior is all original, with the exception of that front seat, because I don't know what, Randy, couple 300, 400,000, whatever. It actually flew back on me one time. The weld busted. So I had to get a new front seat, and I had Randy weld it up before we even put it in there. But that's the only part that's not of the interior that's not original, guys.
Tell us who Randy is.
Randy's right here. He's a mechanic. And I probably wouldn't be running the vehicle if I hadn't had Randy around, because all the odds and ends, he's been able to take care of it in short order and just made it really convenient.
Well, you folks up there in Nebraska have got a different set of parameters that you have to work within, especially after the snowfall and bringing it out in the spring. But I assume that this is not some sort of showpiece, that this is something that you drive every day.
This is a working vehicle.
Yeah.
I mean, every day.
Have you had
Out in
any
the country.
Have you had any rust issues from the salt on the roads?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And about 3 or 4 years ago, I spent $4,000 on body work.
Oh, really? Did they replace some panels for you or
Yeah,
patch some panels?
Yeah, I have this front left panel. They did that, and I don't know, just various stuff. And the back. I think the back right. Well, where the exhaust comes out, that was rusting. So yeah, I had that. Actually, it was $3,850, which I thought was reasonable.
Did you have a complete respray on the car?
No.
No. So it's
No.
got the original paint except where you had it repaired.
Well, one side, I think over here they resprayed it.
Yeah.
So
Well, it looks
That was
pretty
part of
good.
that.
I mean, I can actually see the lights reflecting off the hood. This isn't some.
Yeah, it looks very good.
Yeah, it looks really good. You've taken real good care of it. Do you wax it frequently?
yep, I try to polish it twice a year.
Yeah.
Twice a year I polish it, and I don't want to drive a junk heap, but
So what has been your oil change regimen to get 1 million miles out of it?
I started out at 5,000 mile oil changes, and I took the oil sample. I'd send in an oil sample, and after a couple of them, I thought, well, this is ridiculous. Everything's coming out good. So I just went to 10,000 mile oil changes, and that's when I changed oil and filter at 10,000. I guess that's it. 10,000 mile oil changes. So, and the reason I went to 10,000, even though I knew with this oil I could go a lot longer, but I didn't want it to go over 10,000 without greasing it. And
Right,
so
right.
Randy has Rhino grease. And guys, believe it or not, my very first front end work was done at 892,000.
Oh, that's surprising. Any transmission work done to it?
Yeah, we've had actually 3 transmissions. One of them put in only went 10,000, so it was rebuilt.
Yep.
So I've had transmissions about 300,000, probably average, right, Randy? Yeah. So
Do you know how much money you have sunk into it after the initial purchase price in repairs and keeping it maintenance up to date and that sort of stuff? Do you ever put
Randy's got that.
put those figures together? I mean, what's a transmission these days? 2, 3, 4,000,
4 to 6. Yeah.
4 to 6.
Oh yeah, transmission's expensive, so that would be the big one probably. The transmission.
Yeah. Rear end.
Rear end. I hit just a horrible hole in the interstate one day, and it kind of did a number on the rear end, knocked the tooth out of it. So I bought a used rear end, and Randy put that in. So there's been several odds and ends.
Have you had to replace the windshield in it?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Going down the country roads, you get a lot of rocks. It's probably the 4th or 5th windshield. Couple 100,000.
Well, Ben, I would imagine. Are you retired or are you still working?
Oh, I've never really worked, but I don't know if I'm retired or not. I still do what I've done for 40 years.
What's that? What do you do?
50 years. Actually, I ran onto this stuff that I'm using in here. See, I use a special oil, special grease. Every time I fill up, I add an ounce of fuel mate to it. Every 5,000 miles, I put a pint of fuel system cleaner in it, and it just keeps everything extremely clean and well lubricated. Well, I got excited about this stuff. I was just back from Vietnam, didn't have any money, bought a used car. It was actually a 61 Lincoln. This was in 71. And not very long after I bought it, had about 90,000 miles on it, just started drinking oil, going through a quart of oil every 50 miles. And so I didn't have any money. And so I put some SDP in it, and it helped. Took it from a quart every 50 to 150 miles. But I was adding a quart of oil at 150 miles. And that's when I ran onto this stuff. And, I was kind of intrigued with what the guy told me. And it was developed by a guy named Harry Conklin. And what he did, he invented what he called a polar molecule. Just like 2 magnets will attach themselves together. Well, that's how this stuff works. It actually works itself into the metal, and in the process, lifts off any sludge or carbon or varnish. Well, I dumped a pint of this stuff. It was called TKO into into that crankcase of that old Lincoln, and it went 400 miles before I had to add a quart of oil. I drained that oil, put in another fresh oil, and I was using Penn's oil at the time, another pint of this stuff, and it went 1,400 miles. I never had to rebuild it. And I had 2 different mechanics run a compression check, and both of them told me I had a busted ring and I'd have to overhaul it. Well, that was $800 back then. And so I didn't have the money. So that's why I was just getting by. So by putting that stuff in, I never had to rebuild that engine. So that's Ben, what really got me started.
So, Ben, are you working or not?
I don't know. Are we working now? I'm just having fun.
Having fun. Well, what kind of oil do you use? Regular oil? What kind of regular oil do you use?
It was one of these products that Harry Conklin. Well, I've got the stuff here if you guys want to see it.
No, we don't want to see it. We just want to hear what you have to say about it. Because remember, we're not only video, but we're also audio, and we got a lot of podcast people that aren't looking. But
most people won't see it.
But what's the name of it?
So you use 530?
It's 1540. Actually, this is 1540, which wasn't recommended, but I'd always use this, so I just started using this, 1540. It was the very first parasynthetic on the market. It's Convoy.
Yeah.
So it's got Molly in it as well, guys. So it's like having a billion little ball bearings in your oil.
So, Conrad used to work for BG Products, so we know all about that over and over again. But I want to ask you about the tires. How many sets of tires have you had on over 1 million miles?
Well, I've averaged at least 100,000 per set.
Wow!
You guys are not going to believe this.
So 10 sets.
I told you the first front end work was done at 892,000. Okay, that's when I put on the last set of tires. So these have over 108,000 right now.
That's a lot of miles on a set of tires.
What do you do? Do you have them pumped up to like 100 pounds PSI and just kind of barely go around corners with it?
A quarter an inch.
Yeah. What is the secret to that?
The grease that Randy uses.
But for the tires.
Oh, for the tires?
Rotation.
Yeah, excuse me, guys. Yes, here's the very first set of tires that when it was on here, when I bought it, I only got 38,000 out of the tires because I didn't rotate them. And that's when the tire guy says, you ought to rotate these every 5,000. That's the other thing I do at 5,000 miles. I rotate the tires. That's the key to long tire life.
Oh,
Do you have them going in the same direction all the time, or do you crisscross them?
They crisscross.
They crisscross them.
Gotcha.
X pattern, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And do you have now that you're a real dyed-in-the-wool kind of guy? Do you go with one brand of tires?
Michelin. I run Michelin. That's what was on here when I got it.
Yeah.
So I just stayed with the Michelins.
Yeah. Well, good. Well, it's a true pleasure to talk to you. You know, we don't really talk to too many people that got 1 million miles on their Suburban, and the thing looks pretty darn good. Obviously, you're not a cheapskate when it comes to keeping up with maintenance on the thing. And all I can think of is, hey, the guy.
It's paid dividends.
Yeah, paid dividends. I mean,
he's waiting for that armrest to come back. yeah.
And you may consider another vehicle, but at this point, I'd like to think that you're not in the market for another vehicle ever.
Actually, about 3 years ago, I bought a new Suburban, and so that's why this one doesn't have 1,400,000 on it.
I got you.
But I take this out in the country. So
you've had it for about 22, 23 years, right?
Well, from 94 to, it'd be close to 30 years, right?
Yep, close to 30.
Yeah, well, I didn't.
Yeah.
29.
I didn't take my shoes off to do my math. But anyway, Did you figure out? So how much?
Mars is from Oklahoma. Math is hard.
Yeah, math is hard. So your maintenance costs and stuff. How much have you spent over the 30 years? Do you have an idea, or does Randy?
Randy would have an idea, but
with everything we've done, it's probably a little over 40,000.
So about half the price of a new one.
half the price of new, and yeah, and with people that probably keep their vehicles 100 to 150,000, that's about 8 Suburban. So for what they cost today, it's what are they, 80,000, 75,
Yeah.
80,000.
Every bit of that.
So, yeah.
Well, let me ask you guys, and just out of curiosity, and we'll just leave it at this. I've never heard of Conklin products, and neither is Conrad. Are they only available in the Midwest?
Oh, no, they're available nationwide, but they aren't very well known. It's a fairly small company.
Yeah.
So, I ran into it. They're probably, 50? Well, the original formulas were probably back in the 1930s, and they're still using those original formulas. Probably
Wow.
the best kept secret out there.
Well, that's
Cool.
We'll have to look that up.
Congratulations.
CONKLINS. Okay. Well, gentlemen, it's a pleasure talking to you, and thank you also to your photographer there and your videographer, however you want to refer to him. We appreciate you guys getting up and talking to us this morning.
Yeah, it's pretty
All right.
impressive to get that many miles on a American-built car.
You guys haven't heard the million miles is not the impressive part on that to me, because at 400,000, which one of you is from Oklahoma?
That would be
Mike,
Mr. Mars.
I lived in
Yeah.
Oklahoma for 10 years.
That doesn't
Mr. Musk,
count.
okay. I was down in the Tulsa area
Yeah.
when this had about 400,000. I was coming back, and you know where Joplin, Missouri is, okay? And you get on, it used to be Highway 71. It's Interstate 49 now,
Oh, yeah.
long straight. Well, anyway, it was July 5th, really hot, and just about Joplin, the air conditioner quit working, and I turned north, and what had happened, I was so stupid, really. I didn't realize I had a problem. I thought there was ruts on the road. Well, what had happened, the air conditioning compressor had gone out, and I didn't have a serpentine belt, which means I didn't have a water pump and all the rest of it. And I ran that thing 110 miles. And July 5th that day in Oklahoma, when I finally stopped up in Missouri, it was 106 degrees.
Oh, my gosh.
So your engine was about 280, almost 300.
Oh, it should have melted down.
Well, but
and
if you'd have
that's
slowed down, it would have.
Well,
Yeah, that
maybe
was
so.
good.
But anyway, the fact that it hung together for another 600,000 guys.
Yeah.
That's the real story on this.
Oh, cool.
GM big block. I guess that was a 350.
It's a 350.
350,
yeah,
yeah.
350. That explains a lot.
There you go. Well, gentlemen, again, we thank you very much for joining us today, and best of luck to you. Let's get 2 million miles on it. Give us a call when that happens.
Okay. Thanks, guys.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much. All right.
So Conklin does agriculture, roofing, animal products, home health, and vehicle products.
And you can get your prostate checked.
Are you volunteering to check it for him? How long is that finger?
Oh, my God.
Oh, guys.
There's that. All right. Mars, how's your editing these days?
It's going to have to get a lot better. I can see that.
Time now for the cruise-in calendar. Do we dare even look at the cruise-in calendar?
Sure.
Okay.
Classic Cars and Trucks Cruise In Brazos Valley Brewing is tonight or this afternoon at 12 p.m. in Brenham.
That would be noon.
Today.
Yeah, noon today, not tonight. Mm-hmm.
Saturday Jumpstart at 1902 East Texas Expressway in Killeen is today at noon. At 2 p.m., Cars and Cocktails at South Shore Harbor in League City. The Chili Cook-Off and Car Show.
Wait a minute. Cars and Cocktails.
Cars and Cocktails.
You know, I don't know about you, but I heard that you're not supposed to drink and drive, and those kind of two things go together, don't they?
Well, I don't know
Mars?
about eating a bunch of chili and driving a long distance either.
Yes, Mr. Mars, you were going to say
Yeah, I
something?
was going to say, when I was living in San Antonio, they have a big skeet tournament, an international skeet tournament there outside of San Antonio, and I
Where you
was
take a
shocked.
shotgun and you blow.
Yeah, and you shoot stuff, and the beer
Clay
stands
pigeons.
over there, so that in between shooting the clay pigeons and all, they sometimes use live pigeons, but you can go over there and drink, and all these guys are walking around with these shotguns. I'm kind of going, what?
Well, this
Oh,
is Texas. We know
yeah.
how to handle guns
Right.
Apparently we do.
safely.
All right.
It's the beer I was worried
Sorry,
about.
go ahead.
Pontiacs and Pints, another one.
God,
At Wildcatter Saloon in Katy. That's tomorrow starting at 2. And then Sunday night, Chaos Car Cruise in at the Twisted Grill Cheese on Katy Freeway. That's tomorrow at 11. And finally, Classy Rides Car Show in Nederland. Got to get one of them golden triangle ones in there for you, Mars.
Thank you.
And then, of course, 2 weeks from now is at Gulf Coast Auto Shield is the Car Social. And
Yep.
then that's Saturday. And then Sunday after that is Coffee and Chrome.
And next weekend, not a cruise in. Well, if it could be a cruise in. This is a serious cruise in. That's Autorama.
Mm-hmm.
So go there.
Best show in
Yeah.
town every year.
Time now for this hour's car review. Had a chance to drive the 2024 Buick Encore GX. It comes in 3 trim levels: Preferred, Sport Touring, and Avenir. I had the Avenir, top of the line. This is a small SUV, seats 5 passengers. Good luck on 6-footers in the second row. Exterior changes from last model year. It's got some new front end styling on it, part of the 2020 original design. Exterior features, Nike slash lighting up front with a big lower grille. It really does look good, and it doesn't even look like an
agree.
old Buick anymore. Sculpted sides with painted wheel opening moldings, which is really nice, not to have the black plastic moldings to highlight the wheel openings. I don't understand why they do that. High-mounted tail lights, but it's got also a big hatch and fake dual exhaust. Tractive wheels match the trim level. What I like, this is one sharp-looking little SUV. Don't you agree?
I thought so. I saw it out front. I thought it was very good looking. And it's got that new Tri-Shield Buick logo
Yeah.
on it, so it's something different.
Yep, it is. Interior highlights: huge instrument and infotainment screen stretches from driver to right above the center console. Overall, dash design is excellent with easy-to-find controls, premium materials throughout the cabin, comfortable ventilated faux leather seats. I couldn't tell the difference. It's certainly not like the Naga hides we used to have back in the day. Cargo and trunk room, folding second rear seat allows for more room than you'd think in this small SUV. What I liked, passive phone charger under the dash, out of the way for stowing. What could use improvement? Shifter on the center console takes up too much room. I'm not a big shifter in the middle unless it's a manual shifter. Why?
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't make any sense anymore. Push buttons or a dial
And
or
the
something.
pleated seats look pretty cool.
Yes. 1.3 liter turbocharged 3-cylinder engine.
That seems to be
This is
popular
the
this year.
optional upsize, by the way. 155 horsepower, 174 pound-feet of torque. Doesn't seem like a lot of horsepower. Well,
Sufficient?
got a CVT transmission. This is a front-wheel drive vehicle. Will tow up to 1,000 pounds, which is nothing. City miles per gallon 29 on the highway 31 for a combined of 30. I got 32 miles per gallon over
Wow.
336.1 miles. What I liked, felt like plenty of power. What could use improvement? Give me some paddle shifters. Why not? I mean, what would that cost a manufacturer to put paddle shifters on?
Yeah, but to me, my head, paddle shifters and CVT just don't blend.
Well,
And a 1.3.
Yeah.
okay.
Well, that turbo, that's the beauty of a CVT. It'll get the turbo up in its power band and then adjust the transmission ratio to keep the turbo in its power band. So paddle shifters.
I'll be honest with you. I didn't
contrary to
even
it.
even recognize the fact that it was a CVT.
CVT.
They've gotten pretty good at that.
Yep.
Ride and handling can be a little stiff on some Houston streets. Great on the highway. What could use improvement? A little softer suspension, but not floaty. It just seems a little stiff in the back end.
Which
Well,
is
it's a
unusual
small
for a Buick.
wheelbase.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah, it is a small wheelbase. Base trim price, $31,900. Prices tested, $35,740.
Not bad.
Base model price, $25,600. I thought that was pretty good. Competitors, Chevy Trailblazer, $23,100. Honda HR-V, $24,000. Mazda CX-30, $24,900. And the Subaru Crosstrek Trek Mars, $24,995. Same price, exact same price as the Mazda. Isn't that funny? But anyway, those are the competitors. And that is the review of the Buick 2024 Encore GX Avenir front-wheel drive.
Good,
I like it.
Good-looking car.
It is. It truly is. And if you're in the market for something like that,
Do you know what Avenir is?
it's a trim level.
Yeah, but it's also a font on your computer, in your Word document. Avenir is a type of font.
Why would you know that?
It is.
Because I just looked it up. I never knew what Avenir was, you know.
It sounds sophisticated.
Yes, it does.
Kind of like Park Avenue.
At Park Avenir. That's what
Avenir.
they should have called it, the Park Avenir.
I don't think the park would have been.
I'm leaning toward deuce and a quarter. Buick.
Buick.
Deuce and a quarter.
Buick.
Roadmaster.
You know, I will tell you that
Vista.
that story that we did last week on the station wagons, and that one particular, I think it was a Buick station wagon, the Roadmaster with the wood side paneling on it. It's got me thinking, and I'm moving over to the Jeff Zekin point of view.
You have to.
The wagon thing is become very attractive to me. Don't ask me
And you
why.
got the Vista roof with the
On that particular model, yes.
with the windows.
Leave it in the shipping crate so the wood's still there on the side and everything.
Remember, Buick did the Rendezvous that had the,
Oh God.
but it had the rear hatch opened up to almost like a bed. So it had a sunroof that moved forward and a rear gate on it. But it would be an in-wheel time mobile studio.
No, it would not.
Okay.
No, it would never be that, ever. No.
The Rendezvous was
No.
a cousin of the Pontiac Aztec,
Yes.
which was definitely the ugliest thing GM ever made.
Or anybody.
Yeah.
Would you drive a Rendezvous?
Maybe. If it was like
Free.
if it was a beige color.
Hey, the in-wheel
Tubbed
time.
out with an LS in it.
The In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show is available 24/7 through the iHeartRadio app. Just look for In-Wheel Time Car Talk. We also video stream on Facebook, YouTube, and InWheelTime.com, and podcasts are available on over a dozen of the most popular podcast outlets out there. The In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show continues right after this quick break. Houston's finest cars are invited to another Gulf Coast Auto Shield Car Social, Saturday, December 2nd, and you're invited too. Show off your personal pride and joy, or just stop in to see the likes of Lucid, Lamborghini, Porsche, Ferrari, and more. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is your one-stop shop for paint detailing, coatings, window tint, clear bras, and wheel repair. The Car Social is your opportunity to get a tour of this state-of-the-art facility located at 11275 South Sam Houston Parkway, just south of the Southwest Freeway. It all takes place Saturday, December 2nd, 9 to noon. This is the perfect opportunity to connect with other car enthusiasts. From BMWs to Bentleys, Corvettes to McLarens, the Car Social is a different kind of show. Talk to the owners. See Gulf Coast Auto Shield's facility. You'll be amazed. Put it on your calendar now. The Gulf Coast Auto Shield Car Social, Saturday, December 2nd, 9 to noon at 11275 South Sam Houston Parkway, just south of the Southwest Freeway. The In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show will be there too. We'll see you then.
Hey, Houston! America's greatest hot rod tradition is back! Thanksgiving weekend! The O'Reilly Auto Parts Autorama! At the George R. Brown Convention Center. 4 action-packed days of hot rods, customs, classics, trucks, and performance cars. The ultimate lowrider showcase. Sponsored by Shorty's Hydraulics. See Lone Star Throwdowns, Texas-sized truck spread. And don't miss the traditional rod and custom section. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, see wild, high-flying freestyle motocross stunt shows. Shop the swap meet and women's world all weekend on the celebrity stage. Presented by Nick's Auto Repair and Classic Car Restoration. Friday, meet AEW Tag Team Superstars, the Lucha Bros. Saturday, it's Noel G. Hector from the Fast and Furious. Sunday, it's Lou Ferrigno, the original Incredible Hulk. The O'Reilly Auto Parts Autorama. November 23rd through 26th at the George R. Brown Convention Center. Discount tickets at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Part of the Summer Racing Equipment Show Car Series. See Autorama.com for more info.
The original group of Lupi Tortilla restaurants will have you telling your family and friends just what the original recipes mean when it comes to the best fajitas in Southeast Texas. Founder Stan Holt invites you to visit the original Lupi Tortilla near I-10 and Highway 6. Here's the original house that inspired the design of all the rest and the original charm that helped make Lupi Tortilla the go-to destination for Houston Tex-Mex. Speaking of original, nothing can compete with the original lime pepper marinade that everyone will agree makes Lupi Tortilla award-winning beef fajitas the best anywhere. Lupi Tortilla Katy is another location that gives you the same quality and service Houstonians have come to expect at Lupi's. It's located just off I-10 of the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard in Katy. Find yourself in Aggieland? Head to the Lupi Tortilla in College Station, located just around the corner from Kyle Field. It's a great place to enjoy those famous frozen margaritas before or after the game. Headed east to Louisiana, stop in at the Lupi Tortilla in Beaumont. It too's on I-10. You can't miss it. The original group of Lupi Tortilla restaurants invites you in for the best Tex-Mex anywhere. That's it for this podcast episode of the In Wheel Time Car Show. I'm Don Armstrong, inviting you to join us for our live show every Saturday morning, 8 to 11 a.m. Central on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and our InWheelTime.com website. Podcasts are available on Apple Podcasts.